So I figured let's kick this conversation off this way by me officially publicly endorsing you both to become president and vice president of our great country.
Thanks,
Oh,
TJ.
that's
Thank you,
fantastic.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you. That's
Means a great
incredible.
deal to us, for real. Thank you.
Really.
Trash. Trash. Of course, we got to talk about The Rock today. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
Correct in being honest.
So let's be direct, let's be honest. There was a time that you used your fame, and it was a time that not everybody was happy. And that was a few years ago.
That's right.
And you made a very big point. You said, I've never done this before. I've never endorsed a political candidate.
That's
and
right.
you endorsed Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And I'm being real with you, and you're being real with me.
Sure.
A lot of people on Fox watching us, you and I talk right now, remember that and wonder about that. So how do you feel now in retrospect with that endorsement?
In what way?
Are you happy that you made that endorsement in 2020? Are you happy with the state of America?
Am I happy with the state of America right now? Well, that answer is no. Do I believe we're going to get better? I believe in that. I'm an optimistic guy, and I believe we can get better. The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. And I thought back then, when we talk about, hey, I'm in this position where I have some influence, and
Hold on, wait. He said that he felt that was the best decision. I'm sorry, Rock. Dwayne, because that's his real name. What about this made you think that that was a great decision?
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
Huh? What?
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
You really thought that guy, was a great choice in combination with this woman?
Do you know, okay, a bit of a history lesson. Do you know that the women's teams were not allowed to have brackets until 2022?
That is a lie.
Think about that. And talk about progress, better late than never, but progress. And what that has done, because of course when, I had a bracket, it's not broken completely, but I won't talk about my bracket. But you know what, just how
She ain't fill out no bracket.
we love March Madness, and even just now allowing the women to have brackets and what that does to encourage people to talk more about the women's teams, to watch them. Now they're being covered, and this is the reality. People used to say, oh, women's sports, who's interested? Well, if you can't see it, you won't be. But when you see it, you realize, oh.
Not so much, but that was a lie. Blatant lie.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. What can 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 be.
Okay, that's enough of that one. Yeah, I can go on with this for days. As a matter of fact, here's one more.
But when you present the suggestion that anyone is saying that it is time for a new generation, and they're running against the person who is president, and when presented as though it's an attack, I would like to let us all be clear that the attack is misplaced. If the point of it is that we need leadership that is strong, because we have a strong leader in Joe Biden.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President.
Yeah, I don't even know what that even meant, but once again, Dwayne, explain to me how those two individuals seem like a great choice to you. Because I'm having some trouble wrapping my mind around that one. That is insane. I think you're lying. But I'll get into that later.
Was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. And I thought back then, when we talk about, hey, I'm in this position where I have some influence, and it's my job then. I felt like that then. It's my job now to exercise my influence and share with this is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no. I'm not going to do that, because what I realized, and I didn't realize it back then, Will, but I realize it today. And back then, just like I am today, very lucky, I was then the most followed American man in the world, and I am today the most followed American man in the world, and I appreciate that. But I also realized that what that caused back then was something that tears me up in my guts back then and now, which is division. And that got me. And I didn't realize it then. I just thought, hey, our country feels like there's a lot of unrest. It feels like I would like things to calm down. Maybe we need a change. This is what I'm going to do, and this is who I'm going to endorse. The takeaway after that, months and months and months, I started to realize, like, oh man, that caused an incredible amount of division in our country. So I realize now, going into this election, I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't do that, because my goal is to bring our country together. I believe in that in my DNA. So in the spirit of that, there's going to be no endorsement. Not that I'm afraid of it at all, but it's just I realize that this level of influence, I'm going to keep my politics to myself. And I think it's between me and the ballot box. But I will tell you this. While, like a lot of us out there, not trusting of all politicians, I do trust the American people, and I trust that whoever they vote for, that's going to be my president, and that's who I'm going to support 100%.
And we all know who that one's going to be. The Don. Uncle Trump, baby. Uncle Trump. So, and I get it. Some people are going to say, hey, this is just promo. Hey, he's just trying to, because if you see in the background here, WrestleMania, right? Which, of course, it's advertising. They did this on purpose. They did that on purpose. It was quite obvious from the camera angle, right? If you look at this camera angle the whole time, like, it's angled in such a way that you could see the WrestleMania sign right behind them speaking. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I sure did watching. It's angled so that you can see the WrestleMania sign, and it doesn't swing the other way, so you can see Will Kane's full face, right? And I'm sure this is probably The Rock's drink, some kind of tequila or something, it looks like, okay? Sure, some people may say, hey, this is just his way of trying to get in people's good graces. Maybe. But from my perspective, and this is the way that I think all Republicans should be looking at things, anyone that is seemingly joining our side of the political aisle, we should welcome every single one of them with open arms. Doesn't mean we gotta attend WrestleMania. Doesn't mean we have to buy any tickets or purchase his tequila or whatever. And I don't know if that's his tequila or not. I'm just assuming, okay? That's just an assumption. I don't know that for sure. I'm just assuming, right? Because you can see, like, well, the video's a little too blurry here, but you see how they have the bottle, the label, like, turned towards the camera, so you can see it and whatnot. So I'm just assuming, right? I don't know for sure. But it doesn't mean that we have to support any of his products. But we also shouldn't be pushing people away that are possibly trying to join the ship, okay? Because at the end of the day, in the words of Larry Elder, we have a country to save. We have a country to save. And we know Democrats are going to pull out all the stops. We know this. We know this. So anyone and everyone that's willing to join willing to join the Trump train, I welcome them aboard. Anyone and everyone. I don't care what their past was, what they said in the past, like Michael Rappaport, right, who said some crazy things about Republicans and Trump in the past. Don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If you're willing to join the Trump train now, I welcome you. I welcome you. And everyone else, right? For many reasons, but also one reason is because I used to be one of those individuals. I used to be one of them. I was. You're watching one of those same individuals who used to think the same way. I know. Watching these videos, you probably don't believe it, but that is a fact. That is a fact. And I've said it, throughout this journey, right? I've let people, I put my cell phone front street. I put my cell phone front street. I let everybody know, like, bro, I used to think like that. So I can somewhat relate. And all it took for me was like just having that moment when the light bulb clicked on, and hey, maybe they had the moment where the light bulb clicked on. Maybe. Who knows? Like I said, doesn't mean we have to buy any of their products or support any of their businesses, but I think we should all welcome them with open arms. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. Because like I said, Democrats are going to pull out all the stops, and we're going to need everybody that we can get, man. We're projected to win right now, but we're still a long ways out. And I'm sure Democrats have something up their sleeves. I believe what Trump said, and I said it before Trump actually said it. Not saying that, he stole my idea or anything, but I think it's quite obvious. We're going to have to beat them with sheer numbers, which we can most definitely do. We can just flat out outnumber them. So much so that any possible, finagling, right? The gap is going to be too wide for it, right? The gap is going to be too wide. For example, I don't know, 100,000 vote gap. How you going to close that? Going to be quite difficult to, hush, shh, try to, and keep everybody quiet about it. Going to be quite difficult, right? And I'm just throwing out a number off the top of my head. But what I'm saying is we have to beat them with sheer numbers. Demoralize them. The numbers come in so high that they look at them and they're like, oh, yeah, I don't think we can make that one up. And if we did, it wasn't obvious to everyone, before, because that's what everybody likes to say. Because I know that's what everybody's gonna say. Well, Rich, it wasn't obvious the first time. It wasn't obvious. Okay, it'll be obvious this time, especially now that everyone's watching. Everybody's watching, right? And if you got this huge gap, gonna be real difficult. And you also make Trump an even bigger figure, because if you try to close that gap and it's this huge gap and you're caught trying to close that gap, now you prove Trump right. Now everything that Trump has been saying once again is proven right in front of all of your supporters. It's going to look real terrible. But hey, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.